Les Elephants instead of Battle of the Elephants, and it's the hosts who have the first corner of the game, and it comes left-footed in swinger all the way to the back post, and it goes over everybody. And chasing after it is Sangare, the Nottingham Forest man, but it beats him to the sideline, so that's a disappointing start there from Pepe's corner. So formerly of Arsenal, now playing his club football in Turkey with Trabzonspor. So let's see Carlos Ocampo here, the right back for Equatorial Guinea, plays his club football in the US in the MLS with San Jose Earthquakes. Ocampo sends that ball down the line, but given away, and Ivory Coast come back. The ball hooked over the top there for Diakite to chase, but it'll go all the way through to Jesus Owono in the Equatorial Guinea goal. He's in all blue today. An easy take for him. Maybe he'll send that one up the pitch. Wait for a throw in then. Ball into the far right side of the penalty for Diakite. Now on the overlap there is Sangare, and that's behind for another corner. That one coming off Saul Coco, the Equatorial Guinea defender. So the second corner of the day after 4 minutes here for the hosts. Waiting on our referee here, Mahmoud Ismail, having a word with Christian Kouame and Pablo Ganet. He's speaking to there. You're having a bit of pushing and shoving in the 6-yard box, but now we're ready to go underway here. Left-footed in swinging corner again, headed away. It's good head on it. It's tried to be volleyed back in by Kese, hooked in again there by Sangare, and he has gone down, clutching his head in some pain there as he tried to hook that one in the edge of the box, but nothing to do it in terms of any free kicks or anything like that. But also going down is Ivan Salvador for Equatorial Guinea. He's back on his feet now, the two of them clashing there as the ball was a bit messy on the edge of the box, and the Nottingham Forest man tried to hook that one back in. We'll see here now what has happened. It was actually separate incidents. I thought it was Salvador. Initially Salvador gets a bit of a rattle from Kese as he took an air shot at that one, and then it was Sangare's turn to go down under a challenge with Jose Machin as he tried to hook that one back in. But nothing doing for either side there, so it'll simply be a long punt upfield by Jesus Owono, who claimed the ball quite easily there in the end. Good header one there by Kesa. Oh, well, that's a different one there. It was actually Umar Diakite who threw himself in for a header there and had the send that one. It's he and Wasilio and Dong that came together in the centre circle, both challenging for a header, and Equatorial Guinea come out the other side of that one with the free kick, which is sent long there by Pablo Ganet, far too long, and Yahya Fofana, all in black in the Ivory Coast goal, gets his first touch on it. That was a really poor free kick taken there by Ganet. I'm not saying there was really too much he could have done with that one, but he didn't even give his side a chance to get on the end of that one. So there's Conan, left-footed, sends it long down the left touchline, looking for Kumare through the middle. Well, header one out of play there by Esteban Orozco. who went taken quickly by Conan to Seko Fofana. There's captain Frank Kesse, and he goes back to the other Nottingham Forest man in the Ivory Coast lineup here, Willie Bowley. And Evan Ndika at Roma, who will be going back to the Italian capital after this tournament to a new manager. Who that is yet remains to be seen, but when he left, Jose Mourinho was in the hot seat, and of course that ended this week. And there's another free kick to Equatorial Guinea, won by Ndong as he threw himself in for a header, and it's that man Diakite again who has conceded the foul, this time a bit more clear cut. He steps across the Equatorial Guinea left back as they both go for that ball. So free kick on the left on halfway for Les Elefantes. Hope you're keeping track of which elephant is which here. Throw in to Equatorial Guinea now, slightly further up the pitch on the left hand side, midway inside the Ivory Coast half. Ndong has that ball in his hand to take the throw in, sends it down the line there, looking for Juan Machine, but it's headed out by Kesse, and just in line with the edge of the 18-yard box for Equatorial Guinea again. And Ndong is just taking a few strides down the touchline to take this one again. Throws it short to Machine this time, who invites the challenge in there from Sangare, and Ivory Coast win it back and look to go on their counter attack, but Orozco gets in there ahead of Pepe and sends it back to his goalkeeper Owono, who takes no chances and sends that one out of play on halfway on the left hand side. The goalkeeper plays his club football in Spain with Alaves. Equatorial Guinea, a former colony of Spain. Here's the ball again at the feet of Ndika. There's a good touch there from Pepe. It's back again with Willie Bowley at centre half for Ivory Coast. Sends it down the line looking for Diakite, who seems to have timed his run well, but a bit of a heavy touch. And there's Ndong getting in there again, the two of them scrapping for it. Diakite seems to have won it back. Good battle there on the right hand side. Pepe with the ball into the middle, over the head of Kouame, flicked away by Orozco to the left corner and down to ground there. And that's a free kick there given against Ivan Salvador for a foul on Gillian Conan, as the two of them chased that ball into the left corner. And Conan's lucky the free kick was given, because as he rolled on the ground he picked the ball up. He had already decided when he hit the deck that was a free kick, but lucky for him, our Sudanese referee agrees with him. So free kick to the Ivory Coast, might as well be a corner kick, it's that far in there. So chance for a delivery here from the left hand side as you approach the 10-minute mark in Abidjan. It's going to be Nicolas Pepe to send this one in left footer. It'll be an outswinger. Just a one-man wall for Equatorial Guinea. Ivan Salvador making up that. As again Mahmoud Ismail, our referee, is speaking to somebody in the box. There's a lot of people around there. I think that was more of a general warning for the group not to do anything silly. So in comes Pepe's delivery. It's a decent one to the back post. Good header away by Ndong. Comes to the edge of the box where Kesse knocks it back there to Conan, and now Seko Fofana with a quarterback side pass, but that was far too long there for Sangare in the right corner. He would needed a motorbike to catch that one, so a waste from Seko Fofana into the corner. And as we play 10.5 minutes now at the Stade Olympique Alassane Ouattara, possession and territory very much in favour of the hosts here, Ivory Coast, but still no goals. Have a look here for you. I'll keep you abreast of the other game. It's also still Guinea-Bissau 0, Nigeria 0 in that one, so no change as we stand, but I'll keep you updated if that does happen. There's a bit of a scrap in midfield for possession that Equatorial Guinea come out of well. Orozco down the right hand touchline finds Salvador, heavy touch though, invites Ndika onto that one, and the Roma man wins that ball back. Powerful challenge from him. Salvador left crumpled on the ground, but no free kick given, just a strong tackle. The ball now sent down the line looking for Sangare, headed away and then given away in midfield there. Oh no, free kick given to Ivory Coast right on halfway, and Equatorial Guinea not happy with that decision. That one going against Federico Bacoro. A bit of a push it was in the end on Nicolas Pepe, and we've got our first booking of the game. It's gone to Josete Miranda, I think, for his protestations against that decision. That's a silly yellow for him. On 12 minutes, whenever you've still got all that time left in this game. And now, just for opening his mouth, he goes into the referee's notebook. There's a combination of Miranda and Bacoro, who's a double team Pepe, but I think in the end it was a card for Miranda for his mouth. Now Kouame has nodded down the free kick to Nicolas Pepe, who gets a good delivery in, headed away well by Roscoe on the 6-yard line. Oh goodness me, the two players are going for the same ball there. Oh, that's a sore one. They've gone right over the top of each other. I didn't quite see who that was, but as that ball was headed away, it was bouncing outside the penalty area. And I'll need to see again who it is. They're now lying on the ground, so it's hard to tell. It was Nicolas Pepe who went up over Miranda, that man Miranda, two of them clashing again. So Nicolas Pepe went right up and over Josete Miranda, who, when you look at it again, he's certainly bracing himself for impact. He has a look at Pepe coming, and that's not overly clever from Josete Miranda. I don't think there's going to be anything given against him, but he's ended up with a sore head out of it, and Pepe had a bit of an awkward landing on his shoulder. They are both back on their feet now. Free kick went in the way of Equatorial Guinea, actually. So that's how Mahmoud Ismail saw that one, but when you look at the replay, which obviously he didn't have the luxury of, certainly Miranda knew Pepe was coming. And now free kick to Equatorial Guinea, and there's a foul on Miranda again. He can't stay on his feet at the minute, that time from Sangare, just inside his own half, and this game's coming a little bit bitty here in the opening quarter of an hour. There's been no real flow to it, between loose passing and some fouls just disrupting the whole tempo of things. But so far Equatorial Guinea were probably the happier of the two, despite being a bit on the back foot. There's going to be a long range effort from this free kick. Oh dear, well, scuffed and bounced wide there from Saul Coco, who had a run up there from all of 35-40 yards at that free kick, and a complete waste. Bounced twice before it even passed the goal line. And Yahya Fofana saw that one coming all the way. So a waste of a free kick, which Juan Misha, the Equatorial Guinea manager, didn't look overly thrilled with that waste of possession. They haven't had too much of it, as that ball's left to bounce all the way through for Owono, and he immediately rolls it out to get us underway with Carlos Ocampo, right back, up over halfway. Salvador looking for Nsue, the man who scored that hat-trick against Guinea-Bissau. He hasn't really featured here in the first 15 minutes. He's the joint top scorer of the tournament, along with Algeria's Baghdad Bouneja, both on 3 goals. Coming forward now is Diakite. Gets all the way to the byline, gets past and Dong cuts it back. Kouame with a backheel flick, and Nicolas Pepe was behind and said, just leave it for me. Maybe there's no call, he didn't see him. Great work there initially from Umar Diakite to get all the way down the right touchline to the byline, past and Dong cut it back. And said Kouame tried a backheel drag there with his right foot, which was easily dealt with by Jesus Owono. Nicolas Pepe, who's standing behind him, said he should have left it for him, but there's a couple of defenders between them, so it might even not have made it to him. But there's a foul again, this time from Diakite on Ndong, and he holds his hand up to say sorry, I think, to his teammates more than the referee. There's a silly one, hand on the shoulder, and Ndong going nowhere. Right in front of the linesman. You're never going to get away with one of those. So the man who plays his club football under Will Still at Stade Reims in France, Omar Diakite, with an apologetic hand there. And we're back underway. 3 fouls each from both sides, but it's just been a really disrupted game. Not much flow to it. Here's Ivan Salvador now for Equatorial Guinea. Middle of the Ivory Coast half, out left. It is to Miranda. He goes back to Ndong on halfway. And Salvador gives it away to Sangare, but Ball's back now at the feet of Garnett. Ivory Coast hustling here, and they've given it away. Kouame now gives it out to Pepe on the right hand side. Pepe skips over the challenge into the penalty area. Nicholas Pepe cuts it back, looking for Seko Fofana, but didn't get enough on it, and it's cleared out for a throw in by Carlos Ocapo, who did a good job of getting back there. Fofana arriving at the back post, and Pepe trying to pick him out, but not enough juice on the pass from the former Arsenal man. He was sent in behind by nice pass from Christian Kouame. Capo not being there or misjudged his clearance, and perhaps the net would have bulged and Ivory Coast would have led, because Fofana was unmarked behind him. But as it is a throw in to the Ivory Coast here on their right hand side near the byline. Diakite right there to Wilfred Singo. Back to Diakite. Fofana right hand corner of the penalty area now, holding off the challenge of Federico Bacoro. Nice pass in field there, finding Dika, who's come forward into a midfield position, spreads it out right there again. Oh dear, in the pass, just the final balls letting Ivory Coast down, and Dong got there. I'm not really sure who the pass was intended to. There's nobody in white on the end of it, that's for sure. Now forward again come the Ivory Coast with Bowley. Right down the line there. There's a cross in from Singo, and blocked by the backside really of one of the Equatorial Guinea defenders. Great work there now by Miranda, skipping over a couple of challenges down the left touchline, and he's clattered into again. As just said to Miranda, really has been inviting fouls and tackles today, and as he goes down there he falls into Ibrahim Sangare, and that doesn't look too clever for the Nottingham Forest man. And Singo, who committed the foul against Miranda. Nuno Espirito Santo as Sangare's Nottingham Forest manager will be watching that one with bated breath. And they're calling for the stretcher here now, but it's not for Sangare, it's for Ivan Salvador. I didn't quite see what happened to him. He's sitting on the ground protesting to the referee. Clearly the referee didn't see whatever has caused the Equatorial Guinea man to be sat prone in the middle of the turf here as he approached 20 minutes. Sangare appears to be okay. We do have a break here so that Ivan Salvador can get some treatment. Let's have a look here to see if we can see anything. I actually want to see a replay of this one here. A good breakaway between Kouame and Pepe, and Kouame saying to Pepe, give it to me, play it back to me. He continued his run. Pepe also saying to Fofana, get in further, closer to goal. But well, the reality is that this Pepe's pass wasn't up to standard there, and it's been a frustrating opening 20 really for both sides. But to say, this certainly suits Juan Micha's men better, and Ivan Salvador, oof, when you see it again there, it's Sangare actually who goes in as he wins that ball back and sort of catches. He goes through and kicks it, and almost kicks the shins of Salvador as he goes through. But Salvador is now back to his feet, so the stretcher was perhaps a little bit uncalled for. Long free kick forward, looking for Nsue, and Boli and Singo between them nearly made a mess of that one, but the Monaco man will play it away down the right touchline. A massive header sends that ball back in there. Now a free kick given against Miranda this time, who is just a free kick machine either for or against him. This time for backing into Singo as the two of them went for the header on the edge of the Ivory Coast penalty area. Certainly Mahmoud Ismail has been whistle happy here in the opening 20. Ball at the feet of Yahya Fofana, the Ivory Coast goalkeeper, who has been pretty much a bystander so far. And there's another Equatorial Guinea man down holding his head, and it's Esteban Orozco going up for that challenge with Christian Kouame, and they certainly come out of it on the wrong end. Two of them going for a header from Fofana's long ball, and Orozco heads the back of Kouame's head. It's going to be a sore one for both, but the Elefantes defender certainly felt the full brunt of that one. But he's back to his feet and run away. The ball bounced through to Iwono anyway, and he side foot volleys it long, looking for Nsue. Good header won there by Bolly. Down the ground, Salvador with conceding the free kick. Really frustrating first half to watch, never mind to play in, I'm sure. It's just free kick after free kick, stoppage after stoppage. So Evan Ndika will send this free kick long forward for the Ivory Coast with his left foot, strokes it long. The referee wasn't happy about something. I think he's telling him to go further back and take it. So no, in fact it's against Jose Machin for Equatorial Guinea, not standing far enough back. So Ndika gets another chance and plays this one short, and now it finds its way to Singo on the right over the halfway line. Right there to Diakite, who's going to try and take on Ndong. Kouame wanted that one early, but instead he was back to Singo. Oh, dreadful pass there by Sangare, but Fofana bails him out, but it's out for a throw in as Diakite can't keep it in line with the edge of the 18-yard box, and this is a poor game, to be honest. So far, these opening 23 minutes, real lack of quality from either side. Still goalless in the other game between Guinea-Bissau and Nigeria, by the way, so it's as you were here in this group. Equatorial Guinea at the top, followed by Nigeria. Ivory Coast at the minute still sitting at third. Now they are the top ranked third place side going into the round of 16, but they want to be going through as well the top two sides so as to get a slightly easier round of 16. But really, this African Cup of Nations this year has thrown up different surprises and unlikely score lines that, well, maybe there's no such thing as an easy round of 16 game, no matter where you finish in the group. And it's always best just qualify any way you can. But Ivory Coast want this in their hands. They don't want to be relying on either a draw or a Nigeria win in the other game if it were to stay goalless here. Right for throw in now on the right, on halfway for Ivory Coast. It's Singo, takes short to his captain front Kesse, and gets it back and rolls it in field to Ndika, who has space to stride into, but instead plays out left to Konan. He looks for Kouame, who's cutting a bit more of a lonely figure up there. Initially it's Diakite and Pepe either side of him, with Sangare trying to get forward in midfield, but a bit more lonely. There's Diakite coming forward, but good defending from Ndong to just nod that one back to his goalkeeper. He's just Iwono, who has been a solid presence here today. Oh dear, a Capo with a poor pass back, and that forces Orozco to thrash that ball in the touch. So not the coolest defending there from Carlos Capo, forcing his teammate into a rush clearance. So throw in to Ivory Coast now near the edge of the 18-yard box. A long throw in from Konan to find Kesse. Kesse to Kouame on the left hand side of the penalty area. Christian Kouame surrounded by three red shirts. Good ball in there from Konan, punched away by Iwono, but it's for Diakite, and he's put it miles over the bar. That's the best chance so far, and Umar Diakite has rushed that one and thrashed it well over the bar. The cross from Kouame, he did an excellent job. So the cross from Konan in the end, it was Kouame who sucked in all the defenders, and Pepe went up for it with Iwono, who punched or flapped that, didn't really get it away. Came to Diakite on the edge of the box. Iwono came out to close him down, and Diakite trying to hit it on the turn, rushed and just hit it well over the bar. But we've played 26 minutes, and that's the best chance for either side, spurned by Umar Diakite. There's Sangare, who appears to have recovered from that knock after Miranda fell into his leg, looked a sore one, but we're okay to continue. Seko Fofana now in the centre circle. Sangare hustled there by Garnett, still going though Sangare, but now he loses out, and Equatorial Guinea had a chance to break there, but Machine is closed down by Sangare, but they still have it red. No, they don't. It's back with the white of Ivory Coast here. Nice good ball there down the right touchline. Cross in, looking for Kouame. It was from Sangare, but well intercepted, and now Equatorial Guinea will try to come away with it. Takes a couple of deflections. It'll be a throw in to Equatorial Guinea midway inside their own half. 27 minutes gone here at the Stade Olympique Alassane Ouattara. Match day 3, the final round of group fixtures in this year's African Cup of Nations, and that's a strong challenge there from Pablo Ganet, and I think he's going to be the next man to go into Mahmoud Ismail's notebook for that one. Crunching challenge on Ibrahim Sangare, just on halfway. He does win the ball. He may well catch the foot of Sangare on the follow through, but he definitely wins the ball there, and that's maybe a little bit harsh on Ganet as he holds his head in his hands with a rather incredulous look at the referee. No card, but free kick given the Ivory Coast, and they take it on halfway. Now Willy Boley to Seko Fofana, being hustled well there, so I'll roll it back, and that's with Boley out onto the right inside their own half here for Wilfred Singo. Oh, good footwork there from Diakite, but he loses it, and it's volleyed forward by Singo. I mean, that's the way to go, but it's well won. Headed by Coco, and then won back again. Coco, oh, rush clearance. There's now a lot of white shirts in the penalty area. It's come back to Pepe, right hand side of the penalty area. Pepe tries to get to the byline, and no, it's blocked out behind for a corner kick. Good defending in the end by Saul Coco, who stuck with Nicolas Pepe there after his original error, gave the ball away in a very dangerous position, but the Las Palmas defender deflects it behind for an Ivory Coast corner here as he approached the half-hour mark. Almost suicidal defending there from Equatorial Guinea. In comes a corner from Pepe. It's dreadful, cleared at the front post by Nsue. Back doing some defensive work. Kese picks it up and will go all the way back to Fofana, who's just outside his own penalty area, so they go from a corner kick right back to the edge of their own box. Interesting, Emilio Nsue, the Equatorial Guinea captain, I mentioned that hat-trick against Guinea-Bissau. First hat-trick in an African Cup of Nations since 2008. Quite the stat, since the last man to score one was Tunisia's Sofiane Aloudi in 2008, so he's won 6 tournaments without a hat-trick being scored, but Emilio Nsue breaks that duct. But he has been a peripheral figure today. Ball over the top there. Good touch by Kouame. Invites Pepe into. Pepe still going one-on-one with the keeper. Goes round the keeper. Oh, good goalkeeping. Jesus Owono. He stuck with him. Nicolas Pepe went round him, but Owono came back and grabbed it off the feet of Nicolas Pepe. That was the best chance so far for the Ivory Coast. Just a long punt straight up the middle from Franck Kesse. Kouame with a lovely layoff to Pepe, who actually hurdled a challenge by Carlos Okapo. Perhaps if he'd gone down there, that was a penalty. Kouame's touch took out 2 Equatorial Guinea defenders, invited Pepe onto it. Goodness me, that's a dreadful tackle by Carlos Okapo, but Pepe hurdled it, only had eyes for goal. Owono, as Pepe went round him, just got enough of a touch on it to get him back into it. Pepe couldn't get out of his feet, and the Alaves goalkeeper dives at Pepe's feet to deny him a goal scoring opportunity. But as I said there, had Pepe gone to ground, that challenge from Carlos Okapo was industrial to say the least, and caught the shins and knee area of the Ivorian forward, but he chose to keep going towards goal, and good goalkeeping by Jesus Owono stopped him. And we are going to have a water break here, just over half hour played in Abidjan. And we look at the bench. Jean-Louis Gasset, the Ivory Coast manager, looks slightly aghast there at that decision, perhaps not by his striker but by the referee or VAR not to have a look at the challenge. Pepe just, well, striker's instinct, you're bearing down on goal. The long ball just straight up the middle from Kesse. Kouame laying it off to Pepe, and dear me, Okapo. Well, it's a shocking challenge really from the Equatorial Guinea defender. Pepe sort of went in between he and Orozco, but hurled it, kept his balance, but heroic goalkeeping by Jesus Owono. He just got a fingertip to it, and that stopped Pepe getting any clean contact, and then Awono dived on the ball before Pepe could get a shot away. But that's the closest either side have come to a goal so far in what has been an otherwise bitty, disrupted and frustrating opening half hour of football here in Abidjan. I was going to look at some Ivorian fans there. I'm not sure if they were annoyed that Pepe didn't get the shot away, or whether it was a case of the referee should have been given the penalty, but either way, Akapo and Awono and Equatorial Guinea, they all survived that scare, and they have been camped largely in their own half, but with any sort of forays forward disrupted by poor passing or fouls or just some form of disruption. So we're back underway here after that cooling break, and immediately Ivory Coast gift the ball to Equatorial Guinea, with Miranda nearly in behind, but Ndika gets in the way, and now here come the Ivory Coast, really buoyed by that chance. Fofana finds Sangare, nice lay off the edge of the box, good skill from Pepe to take it away from a couple of defenders, crossed in by Fofana, and Awono dives to catch that one. More good goalkeeping from Jesus Awono. There was a couple of Equatorial Guinea defenders there, but he had Sangare and Kouame were lurking, and if Awono doesn't go on the end of that, one of those two probably would have. Dangerous ball across there by Fofana, but well dealt with in the end by Jesus Awono, who has been excellent anytime he's been called on so far in this game. Salvador goes to ground again, clutching his ankle, but our referee says play on. It's Kese, ball over the top to nobody in particular, but the referee does see an issue with this challenge as Kese is brought to ground, and that's a free kick just inside the Ivory Coast half for the hosts. It was actually Salvador that committed that foul, and he admits and he acknowledges his guilt. But Kese having a bit of a words there with Jose Machin. It was actually him, sorry, not Salvador, that Kese caught with a little bit of a nasty stud on the ankle, actually. So I think Kese maybe has got away with one there. Machin not happy with the challenge, and rightly so. It was a late stud to the ankle. That's the one that Mahmoud Ismail chose to ignore. And now here come the Ivory Coast down the right hand side with Diakite. Gets to the byline, cuts it back. It's come to Conan at the back post. Good touch by Salvador, takes it away from him. Gillian Conan still has it for the Ivory Coast. And nothing comes of that one in the end. And there, that chance for Gillian Conan came to nothing in the end. Now got a bit of a break here for goalkeeper for Equatorial Guinea. He's having a bit of a break. And elsewhere, meanwhile in the ground, we've got a bit of a dance off here between the Ghanaian fans who are here for the game later against Mozambique. But we have a goal in the other game. Nigeria have taken the lead. An own goal from Guinea-Bissau. So that one, in actuality, really doesn't do all that much for Ivory Coast. They're still sitting third as it stands. Puts Nigeria top of the 5. Ivory Coast in third on 4, with Guinea-Bissau bottom on 0. So 1-0 elsewhere. Here we've had a crunching tackle there from Basilio Ndong on Umar Diakite, and I'm not quite sure how Equatorial Guinea left back has stayed out of the referee's notebook so far. Maybe it's his last warning, because he's crunched Diakite almost into the advertising hoardings there. And again we look at the face of Jean-Louis Gasset. Looks rather aghast by the whole situation, but we're back underway here. 38 minutes gone in Abidjan. Equatorial Guinea 0, Ivory Coast 0. In the other game in this group, Nigeria have just taken a 1-0 lead over Guinea-Bissau, which leapfrogs them into first place in the group ahead of Equatorial Guinea, but doesn't change who's going through automatically and who's staying third. Ivory Coast still in third, so that result doesn't really do a whole lot for them. Ivory Coast still know that a win here guarantees them the spot and would relegate Equatorial Guinea to that best third place team spot. It's now Diakite who returns the favour on Ndong with a foul just inside the Ivory Coast half. Garnett and Sue has come deep to get that one, but gives it away to Sangare. Diakite battling for it there with Miranda holding off the challenges, and go back to Fofana in goal. Yahya Fofana. He's club football for Angers in the French second tier, alongside Andy Carroll. In actual fact, here's Gillian Conan down that left touchline. Poor pass to Fofana, invites a challenge there from Machin, and Bukario now has it back for Equatorial Guinea. Garnett back to Coco. Garnett now in the centre circle. Bukario, overlapping run there from a capo, where the ball takes a dodgy bobble off the pitch. The pitch has been playing pretty well so far, but it's created a bit of a divot there just on the touchline. It bobbles over the foot of a capo, one out for a throw in on that side. We get a look at Serge Aurier, another Nottingham Forest man. If he comes on and Sangare and Boli stay on the pitch, there'll be 3 Forest players out here. He was, well, interesting stat. The last time Ivory Coast won this tournament was in 2015. It was hosted that year by Equatorial Guinea. In that 2015 final, they beat Ghana in a penalty shootout following a 0-0 draw. And the only 2 from that starting lineup left in today's Ivory Coast squad, Serge Aurier and Max Gradel, both on the bench today. Miranda is now on the ground rubbing his ankle, so some really robust challenges here. That one from Sangare just inside his own half. Back underway here. Machin to Nsue midway inside Ivory Coast half, into the run of a capo getting forward on the right hand side. As Salvador ahead of him uses him. Ivan Salvador almost loses possession but keeps it in play. A capo now 25 yards from goal, approaching the penalty. He's into the penalty now. Carlos Capo just going for a run, cuts one back for Nsue, and Equatorial Guinea have taken the lead completely against the run of play. It's Emilio Nsue, his 4th goal in the tournament after the hat-trick in match day 2, and out of absolutely nothing, Equatorial Guinea have the lead here in Abidjan. And there is a rather glum looking Didier Drogba looking on the crowd. What Ivory Coast would give for him now. But it's Emilio Nsue with a poacher's goal. And it's Equatorial Guinea who take the lead just under 5 minutes before the break. He blows a kiss to the camera out of absolutely nothing. Equatorial Guinea take the lead, and it's a brave run from Carlos Ocapo that sets it up. He just decides, he takes the ball, nobody's going to stop me, I'm going to go for a run here, and go for a run he does, into the box. He takes about 3 Ivory Coast defenders with him, cuts it back. It's not the cleanest hit you'll ever see from Emilio Nsue, but enough to divert it into the corner of Yahya Fofana's goal, and it's Equatorial Guinea, unbelievably against the run of play here, who have got the lead here in Abidjan. I'll look at it again. So Capo runs past about 4 Ivory Coast defenders, cuts it back, and well, I think it might be Wilfred Singo at the back post, who's there with Nsue, and he doesn't pick him up at all. It's poor defending, but it is it's a fitness, say not the cleanest strike, but good movement, and a clever finish, right-footed, side-footed through the leg of Singo into the corner, pass for Equatorial Guinea have the lead here. Ivory Coast have been so wasteful. And now it is Les Elefantes 1, Les Elephants 0. And that then puts Equatorial Guinea back to the top of the group, ahead of Nigeria. Keeps Ivory Coast in third on 3 points, but that means there's a bit of a turnaround in the other game in this group. And they are in trouble of being ditched here in the group stages. My goodness me, it has been a scrappy game, not a whole lot of chances, but Ivory Coast have dominated possession, dominated territory, and if anyone was to take the lead, you would have said it would be them. But no, it's Emilio Nsue. His wonderful story continues, as there's a long free kick for the Ivory Coast, headed wide by Sangare, not even really close. And it's 1-0 to Equatorial Guinea. Man who plays his club football in the third tier of Spanish football with CF Intercity. That's now a hat-trick in the last game. And now he has the opener here today, also interestingly, from 4 years spent in the Championship. Former Middlesbrough and Birmingham City man in Nsue, before going on a bit of a journey through Cyprus and Bosnia, before landing two last season at Intercity. This season, well, he's well on course for it to be his most prolific season. He's got 7 goals in 15 for Intercity and 4 in 3 here now at the African Cup of Nations for Equatorial Guinea. Now here comes Garnett going forward. We'll see here now what sort of out of time we're going to have at the end of this first half. A first half that has been scrappy, bitty, disrupted, not much tempo, a lot of niggling fouls, and really some poor quality play. But just before the break here, Equatorial Guinea, against the run of play, take a 1-0 lead, and it's that man Emilio Nsue again. We're into 5 minutes though of added time here at the end of the first half, so still time perhaps for Ivory Coast to draw level before the break. But the camera there cut after the goal to their manager Jean-Louis Gasset, immediately head in his hands. He can't believe it. Really, that's the first chance on goal that Les Elefantes have had today, other than that long range 40-yard free kick that bobbled wide from Coco early in the game. I don't think you can barely count that one. Great one it was from Carlos Ocapo, down the right hand side into the penalty area. Oh, but there's a ball, has bobbled now nicely for Nicolas Pepe. He's in the penalty area at the other end. Gets the ball, digs it out, gets into the back post. Kouame with a header. It's an equaliser for the Ivory Coast. The Equatorial Guinea are looking for a flag, but it's not coming. Kouame headed it down, and Sangare pokes it home in front of the goalkeeper. And Ivory Coast do have that. And ooh, Sangare, he looked at the offside flag. It looks close to me. Let's have a look here. Did he stay onside? He hasn't. He's offside. Ibrahim Sangare is offside. Good reactions to get ahead of Coco and hook it into the net. And I think if this goes to VAR, we are going to see this one disallowed. To me, Ibrahim Sangare is well offside. And these celebrations here in Abidjan may well be short-lived. It's great poacher's effort from Sangare to get on the end of the knockdown from Kouame, but we are indeed going to see Mahmoud Ismail, our Sudanese official, go and look at the VAR. In fact, he's not even going to look at VAR. He's been told by the VAR officials the goal is disallowed. Looks of horror and disbelief around the stadium, but whenever they see that replay, they will know that was the correct decision. This is one that VAR has absolutely got right. The linesman really has got to be seeing that, but VAR has got this decision correct. So the equaliser we thought Ivory Coast had here in first half stoppage time is chalked off. Ibrahim Sangare and their wild celebrations are for naught. He got on the end. A love good cross from Nicolas Pepe. Kouame's knockdown. Sangare got on the end of it, but he had definitely strayed beyond the last Equatorial Guinea defender before hooking it past Jesus Owono. So it's still Equatorial Guinea 1, Ivory Coast 0. There's Kesse now in midway inside the Equatorial Guinea half to Seko Fofana. 1-2 with Kouame. Fofana's going to get in the end of that one. Good challenge from Akapo. Diverts it behind for a corner. Fofana is down clutching his shin. The referee points to the corner kick. He's on move by that one. Front Kesse is telling him to check VAR. Jesus Owono's over telling Fofana to get up. So this could be a little bit of a niggly end of this first half here. Well, Akapo certainly caught him. He definitely stabs at the ball away for a corner. It's in the air. But if anything there as well, I think Fofana has caught Akapo as much as he has him. They've definitely caught each other, but I think... But it is a nice... It's a fitness, say not the cleanest strike, but good movement. And a clever finish, right-footed. Fofana's on the ground with about 3 Equatorial Guinea players around him talking to him now. The Ivorians are around too, helping him to his feet. I'm not quite sure what the decision is that Mahmoud Ismail has gone with here. It's certainly not a penalty. So a little bit of pushing and shoving and a bit of ill feeling towards the end of this one. He is going to call over Jesus Owono. That's a booking for him and for Christian Kouame, who they got into a bit of a argy-bargy there as Fofana lay on the ground. I think that was because Owono was straight over the top of Fofana, almost Roy Keane, Alfinga Haaland style. Here's the corner from Pepe, left footer outswinger. Owono's come for a knock on it, hook back in, and it can't get over the line. It's headed away, goes back to Fofana. Oh dear, hits an air shot of a volley. Ivory Coast do still have it. No, they don't. Out for a throw in. And that is going to do us here for the first half in Abidjan. It ends a little bit chaotically here for the Ivory Coast, but it has been a disastrous first half for them in the end. They find themselves a goal down here despite dominating play. It's that man again, Emilio Nsue, for Equatorial Guinea with the goal about 5 minutes before the break. Ivory Coast thought they had a leveler in first half stoppage time, but rightly chalked off for offside was Ibrahim Sangare's goal. So that first half would have been a little bit scrappy and disrupted, has ended for the hosts here. Equatorial Guinea taking the lead against the run of play. That man again, the man, the hat-trick hero from match day 2, Emilio Nsua, who has given them the lead here. Ivory Coast thought they had it levelled in first half stoppage time, but Ibrahim Sangare's effort rightly ruled out by VAR for offside. So an otherwise scrappy and disrupted half of football came to the light a little bit towards the end of that half. So let's hope that can continue into the second half. And after 30 seconds here, Ivory Coast have themselves a corner. Is it going to be an early second half equaliser for the hosts? In comes a corner header by Singo. Boli went for it. Well won by Orozco, away by Beccario. And it's back out left to the corner taker, Pepe. In it comes, header towards goal. It's got the back post. Sangare miles over from 6 yards out. Ibrahim Sangare got on the end of the header from Willie Boli. And under pressure, admittedly, from a defender and the goalkeeper for Equatorial Guinea. These men, as it stands, are still going through as one of the best placed third place sides, with Nigeria beating Guinea-Bissau with the same scoreline 1-0 in the other game. That could all change, and Ivory Coast do not want this one out of their hands. Pepe's corner is going to be disrupted again by Mahmoud Ismail. It's Salvador and Diakite in the middle, who are causing a few ructions there, but I'd say a bit of a scrappy first half full of fouls and niggle. And that also has clearly gone into the second half. Left footed in swinger from Pepe. Away well there by Gasset it was. Ganet, sorry. Right left there looking for Seko Fofana and intercepted, but Conan sends it down the line. Salvador, and he looked like he was fouled there. He was indeed. That's by Willie Boli on halfway as the Nottingham Forest defender made his way back from the corner, and Van Salvador slaps the hand of Boli away as he tries to help him to his feet. Clearly not happy with the challenge. A strong one, but free kick given on. Look at this here. Well, across from Pepe, header won by Ndika. Well, went to the back post. It was Orozco who bravely put his body in the way. Now, he never touched it, but he threw himself in front of Sangare's effort. Owono closed him down too, but the Nottingham Forest man blazed over from close range. Big chance to equalise. It was his goal that was disallowed rightly by VAR. He took that one well, but not this one, when he definitely would have been onside. As the ball's back at the feet of Owono. Equatorial Guinea in all red, Ivory Coast in all white with orange trim. No changes at the half as the ball are battling around in midfield, and this time it's a foul against Sangare on Federico Bacoro. So the starting lineups for Equatorial Guinea then, with Jesus Owono, Carlos Ocapo, Esteban Orozco, Sal Coco, Basilio and Dong at the back. Midfield then, Jose Machin, Federico Bacoro and Pablo Ganet, with Ivan Salvador and Josete Miranda either side of captain and goal scorer Emilio Nsue. And for the Ivory Coast in goal then is Yahya Fofana. Across the back, Wilfred Singo, it's Evan Ndika, Willie Boli and Gillian Conan. In midfield, and the captain from Kesse is joined by Seko Fofana and that man Ibrahim Sangare, who's getting forward in support of Christian Kouame, with Umar Diakite and Nicolas Pepe either side of the Fiorentina striker. So we say no changes at the break. As a long ball forward there, Willie Boli hooks it away. Fofana was calling for it to nod back to him, but Boli clears, and as he does again, there's Equatorial Guinea come forward. And Dong and Diakite tussle for that one, but it's out for a throw in to Equatorial Guinea on the halfway line on their left hand side. It's a long throw forward to find Nsue, who goes down under challenge by Boli, and I think that's a soft one, but Nsue has won that one. Didn't seem much in it for me, but the man who opinion matters, Mahmoud Ismail, our Sudanese match official today, he gives it as we look again at that. Another angle, that's Sangare, missed chance, and he really ought to be doing better there. Heads in hand all round from his teammates and all the fans here inside the Stade Olympique Alassane Ouattara in the Ivorian capital of Abidjan. And there's that free kick delivered by Garnett over everyone's head, including the goalkeeper. Yahya Fofana out for a goal kick. So too much on that one there from the Equatorial Guinea man. As we said in the first half there, we've got Equatorial Guinea, who a former colony of Spain, they're known as Les Elefantes. Ivory Coast, formerly occupied by France, they speak French, so they are Les Elephants. So it's the battle of the elephants here. And so far it's Equatorial Guinea who lead this one 1-0. So as it stands there, certainly going through, they really just have to avoid defeat, very much in their hands. There's Diakite down the right hand touchline, hurdles the challenge of Ndong and gets to the byline. Ndong comes back at him, but Diakite gets it in. Owono away to the edge of the box, scuffed back in and wide. Owono, not the greatest of punches there, but it came to the edge of the box for it was Gillian Conan, the left back, who ended up getting on the end of that one, and just a poor effort from him, and that's wide. Conan is a former teammate of Cristiano Ronaldo and co at Al Nassr, now at Al Fayha. His teammate here, Seko Fofana, still at Al Nassr. And here comes Equatorial Guinea with Miranda out to the left hand side for Machin. Miranda left hand corner of the penalty area, Machin out there with him, but Miranda sees a cut in field and gets the better of Sangare, and then gets sandwiched between Sangare and Diakite. And that's a free kick to Equatorial Guinea. As you said, Miranda was booked himself for a foul in the first half and seemed to be either foulee or the fouler, if that's such a word. He seemed like every free kick involved him in some shape or form. So it's going to be Saul Coco, the Las Palmas centre half for Equatorial Guinea, over this one. He's going to hit one. Ooh, and an awkward save by Fofana. It seemed to come off his thigh and rebounds away, and Ivory Coast hook it clear. Sent back into danger by Salvador for Miranda to chase along with Singo, and it bounces out for a goal kick in the end. But Saul Coco, who had a long range effort in the first half, which he didn't hit well and it scuffed well wide. This one, well, clearly that first one was just a sighter. A lot of movement in that ball from Coco. Got past the wall and dipped at the last minute, and Fofana just got any part of his body in the way. I think it was his thigh in the end that it hit off the Angers goalkeeper, and well away to safety. Wow, that could have been, well, it was awkward for Fofana, but could have been very awkward had that one got past him. Sal Coco, instead showing that rather dismal first half effort, was a sighter for more. 55 minutes gone here, and well, we have a stretcher on for, as just said to Miranda. He was right at the goal line, and he's being carried off here. Now, I didn't see what happened to him there. Clearly in some pain, so we'll see what happened here in a moment. Ivory Coast are on the attack in the meantime. Kouame to Fofana. Diakite, right hand corner of the penalty area, twists and turns away from Nsue. Digs in, and a header from Fofana is wide. Oh, the ball from Diakite had all the pace on it, and Seko Fofana just stuck his head to it but couldn't guide it home. And that's it. Another chance gone begging for the Ivorians, the hosts here. of frustration in the stands here in Abidjan, and meanwhile I haven't seen anyone come on to replace José Miranda. I don't know if I can't imagine he's going to be coming back on after being stretchered off, but no sub on yet. So it seems at the minute like Equatorial Guinea are playing with 10 men. There's a throw in the left corner with Ivory Coast. Now we're going to see a sub come on. I can see a red shirt down there. I'm going to see Ismail chose to ignore. And now here come the Ivory Coast down the right hand side with Diakite. Gets to the byline, cuts it back. It's come to Conan at the back post. Good touch by Salvador, takes it away from him. Gillian Conan. Third division Logrones. So that's first sub of the day. Sees José Miranda. Still haven't seen what caused him to be stretchered off, but he's stretchered off, and Yannick Boyla is on for him. And meanwhile, Ivan Salvador has made caught a flailing arm of Christian Kouame, who is frustrated with that one. There's not much in it. Salvador has certainly made the most of that one. It's a forearm sort of just fending him off. Kouame can't believe it. Just some strong forward play, I would say, from the Fiorentina man, but free kick given, and it's been taken, and then an Equatorial Guinea man is offside, so free kick Ivory Coast just inside their half. 57 minutes gone here in Abidjan. It's still Equatorial Guinea 1, Ivory Coast 0. Ivory Coast approaching the penalty for Fana. Goodness, there's a matching, but it's come to Kouame, saved by Owono. What a save! Kouame's come back to it here on the byline, spaced up by Salvador. He goes to ground, no penalty given. Salvador goes and wins it off Conan, and then wins a free kick off Conan. That's a huge save by Jesus Owono. The challenge in the end there from Jose Machin turned into almost a sort of assist really for Kouame. Diakite gave it to Fofana. Machin got his foot in there, but it just put Kouame in behind, and a great save by Jesus Owono from point blank range. But Kouame has got to be doing better there. He hit it straight up the Equatorial Guinea goalkeeper, but he was there, right place, right time, made himself big. Credit must go to him. But another wasted chance for the Ivory Coast. Elsewhere, by the way, roughly around the same sort of time play, just down the hour, it's still Guinea-Bissau 0, Nigeria 1. So as it stands, Equatorial Guinea going top, or will qualify top in goal difference ahead of Nigeria, and Ivory Coast will come as one of the best third place teams. Not ideal for the hosts, but there's a good one. Diakite gets past Ndong now, gets to the byline, still going. Beccario though does a great job of just ushering him out of play. Really strong from Federico Beccario there. He didn't even touch the ball, he just got his body in between Diakite and the ball and just ushered it out for a goal kick. Diakite claiming in vain for some sort of foul, but no, that's good old fashioned defensive play there from Beccario. Ivory Coast, we've only played an hour here, but certainly they're looking frustrated to say the least here. So they have the ball back from a throw in now. It's with Bolly midway inside his own half, rolls it to Indika, who sends one forward left footed. Kouame wins a header above a capo, but will bounce out for a throw in line with the edge of the 18-yard box for Equatorial Guinea. And Ivory Coast starting to get a little bit frustrated looking here. I think there Nigeria thought they may have had a 2-0 lead, but it looks like we're having a VAR check, might be ruled out, so we'll keep you updated on that one. But for here now, you're listening to Mark Strange live on Flash Score UK here this evening, the first batch of the last round of fixtures in this African Cup of Nations. Group A, that's Equatorial Guinea 1 hosts Ivory Coast 0. We get a look at Miranda, who's now sat on the Equatorial Guinea bench with an ice pack strapped to his thigh, so perhaps the stretcher was a little bit over the top, a little bit more. Could have limped off that one, but good to see it doesn't look anything too serious, maybe just a sore bang on the thigh. for Miranda. I think we're already on a booking, to be honest. He's looked liable at any point to get a second booking. Real fiery players just set Miranda. As Conan tries to go around a Capo, throw in. Capo gets a toe in there, and Ivory Coast are just a little bit loose. Here's Boyla, first time I've seen the substitute, but he's robbed by Franck Kesse. Urges men to get forward. Now Diakite tests the pace of Ndong. Diakite gets to it now, right hand side, midway between the goal line, edge 18-yard box. He's going to the byline now, gets a good cross back, away by Garnett and flicked on again by Salvador, and Dika sends it back towards the box now. Conan out on the left side now for Sangare. Good delivery into the back post where Pepe was waiting, but Owono dives on it again. The Alaves goalkeeper, who has thwarted the hosts on more than one occasion today, and does so again. So his clearance goes out for a throw in via Machin, so Equatorial Guinea still stuck in their own half, but Ivory Coast now go back to Singo inside his own half. The Monaco man slips, but he sends a good long ball forward. Kouame takes it down well, falls over, but it turns an inverted pass to Pepe. He's going to hit one from range and curled it, but just couldn't bring it down into the corner from about 25 yards there. Nicolas Pepe, how we had better options there, as Kouame took a good first touch initially. It stumbled, but as he fell, the ball dropped for Pepe, who tried to bend one into the top corner. It had Didier Drogba out of his seat, but he, the legend that is Drogba, he had to sit down again. What the Ivory Coast would do for somebody like him up front today, they've been wasteful and really not at it today. There's Singo, cuts in field now. Oh dear, Sangare let that one run right across him, nobody there, and Salvador gets it away, but strong challenge by Boli, wins it back off in Sue, but at the concession of a throw in on the Equatorial Guinea right. In fact, I wonder, is the referee going to call that a foul against Boli? Can't be. He just strides in, wins the ball, and no, it's not, it's a throw in. No, oh, and it goes to Pepe, goes down in the box. The ball will roll through to Owono. Nicolas Pepe tried a bit of an acrobatic effort there from Gideon Conan's excellent cross. 3 red shirts around him. And he sort of went over the back of Sal Coco, and nothing given. But again, Equatorial Guinea can't hold possession, and Dika's going to send it back at them. Pepe, good knockdown. Sangare to Diakite, right hand corner of the box, gets it in. Oh, deflected behind by Coco. That could have gone anywhere, but it's a corner, and Ivory Coast, well, they're really starting to pile the pressure on here. Haven't really had too many clear-cut chances in this second half, bar Sangare's right at the beginning of the half, as Umar Diakite urges the Ivorian fans inside the Stade Olympique Alassane Ouattara here in Abidjan to get behind his side. Wilfred Singo was over with ball in hand, take the throw, but we're going to have a double sub here for the Ivory Coast first of all. So we're going to see Christian Kouame, is that right? No, here's Gideon Conan. Gideon Conan is off, triple sub actually, apologies. So we're going to see Kouame, Pepe and Conan are off. Christian Kouame cuts a very frustrated figure as he goes off. It's been a difficult day for the Fiorentina man. He's put himself about, but without real much return for it. So we're going to see coming on there is this young Salzburg forward Karim Konate, only 19 years old. There's a cross comes in, one of the subs on here. Crosso, it's away, just off the bench there. I didn't even get a chance to tell you who he was. So you've got going off Gideon Conan, Nicolas Pepe and Christian Kouame. So coming on then is Karim Konate, Jeremy Boga, a former Chelsea or Birmingham fan. You'll remember a name like that. Or maybe you won't, he didn't play too much for either. He is also on. And I'll get to that other sub shortly. That ball's cleared out of play by Bicaro. 65 minutes gone here in Abidjan. Still 1-0 to Equatorial Guinea. And there's a free kick though given, so that certainly the pressure is ramping up from Ivory Coast as a capo with the foul there. Not quite sure who the Ivorian on the ground was, but free kick given. Red shirts and white shirts lining up along the edge of the 18-yard box here. This delivery is going to come in from that new man on, Jeremy Boga, on the left hand side, midway inside the Equatorial Guinea half, right on the touchline. Boga is going to be a right footed delivery. Who can he pick out? Can he pick out anybody? Ivory Coast set pieces today haven't been great. Boga, delivery in Sue, diving header clear. Another poor delivery from Boga, picked up in the centre circle by Kesse. He's going to arrow it back in there to nobody in particular, but Boyla can only hook it out for a throw in on the right hand side, which Diakite is over to take in line with the edge of the 18-yard box. Diakite to Fofana. Oh, in space there's Crosso. Oh, he's just off the bench and he equalises. The Ivory Coast are level, in off the post. A lovely finish it is. And it's 1-1. Jean-Philippe Crosso, just off the bench, has equalised for the Ivory Coast. Or has he? Surely not another VAR check. His first touch off the bench, the Red Star Belgrade forward appears to have equalised, but Equatorial Guinea are calling for the referee to take a look at this one. The first one was quite obvious why. I'm not quite sure what the problem this one is. Oh, is he offside again? Short, and for the second time today, has VAR intervened? It has. My goodness me, Equatorial Guinea are let off again, and Ivory Coast for the second time today. It was Sangare at the end of the first half, and now Crosso here after 70 minutes. He's just offside. This one's certainly not as clear cut as Sangare, but when you look at it again, he is offside on Crosso, a picture of frustration as the camera cuts to Christian Kouame on the bench. And well, you just have to think, is it going to be one of those days for the Ivory Coast? The man just off the bench, Jean-Philippe Crosso, along with Jeremy Boga and Karim Konate. The beautiful finish, but he was offside from Seko Fofana's pass. And on 68 minutes, it remains Equatorial Guinea 1, the Ivory Coast 0. VAR to the rescue once again. Still 1-0 in the other game, both of these games in around the 70-minute mark. So as it stands, Equatorial Guinea will top the group with 7 points ahead of Nigeria on goal difference. Ivory Coast in third with 3. So that's enough for the third place for now. But that could all change, of course, with games later this evening in Group B, and for the other groups finish up tomorrow. So Ivory Coast, this is still very much not in their hands. There's a throw in into the corner, finds Salvador. All of a sudden Equatorial Guinea getting forward, but nobody in red with him, even with just over 20 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Les Elefantes, they really look like they are in all hands on deck mode here. There's a long ball forward, well intercepted by Orozco as Konate tried to get in behind. Fofana with a powerful run here, still going Seko Fofana. Diakite, right hand corner of the penalty area, gets it in, blocked. He'll get another chance out at Diakite, faced up by Ndong. Good skills there, but Ndong sticks with him well and knocks it out for a throw in. He's had a busy day, has Basilio Ndong. That cross of Diakite hit his shoulder, but nothing doing there. Singo with a throw in. Konate's gone to ground in the box there, nothing given. Ball flicked forward, Singo gets to the byline again, and there's Ndong again, this time knocking it out for a corner kick. A bump in the back for Juan Machine. Jose Machine, apologies. And I don't know if the referee wants a VAR check on that one. Nope, nothing doing, so it's going to be a corner. Right to the right swinger here from Jeremy Boga. Delivery in, Owono comes, doesn't get it, but then falls on the ball at a second attempt. 2 or 3 Ivorians launched themselves up there along with Jesus Owono. But at the second opportunity, the Equatorial Guinea goalkeeper pounces on the loose ball in the box. There's a very brief VAR check, I said, for the push by a bit of a bump in the back from Jose Machine on Ibrahim Sangare, but nothing given. Now here's Equatorial Guinea coming forward. Machine tries to find Nsue, blocked by Willy Bolly's hand. He can't believe it, but Equatorial Guinea all of a sudden have a free kick around 25 yards from goal. Fairly central. And, well, we've seen... it is a handball. Don't care what Willy Bolly says. He almost drops to the knee to try to block that pass and it hits his hand on the way through. And it's going to be a free kick. We've seen what... So Sal Coco from a longer range in this test. Yahya Fofana in the Ivory Coast goal. And Willy Bolly is actually going to get a card for that. I don't know whether it was for that or for his protestations, but a card for the Nottingham Forest defender. And now, as the sun has set here, this game kicked off in lovely early evening sunshine, but it's still a hot, humid night in Abidjan as the dark night skies come in now. So it's going to be a right footer here. It's going to be Pablo Ganet. Equatorial Guinea hit Ivory Coast against the run of play in the first half. Can they do it again in the second? 4-man wall plus man lying down the ground. Ganet, oh, he's put a top corner. What a free kick from Ganet. That's perfect. Right into the corner. And just as I said it, they did it in the first half. Equatorial Guinea have done it again. Completely against the run of play. And it's a wonderful free kick from Pablo Ganet. You will not see a better one in this tournament. You will go a long way anyway in doing so. And Equatorial Guinea are 2-0 up. They have been under the cosh this whole second half. They win a free kick out of nothing. A handball from Willy Bolly, 25 yards out from goal. And Pablo Ganet has stepped up and curled it into the top corner. Fofana might have got a touch, but nowhere near enough to keep it out. And it is a disaster here in Abidjan for the Ivory Coast. It is Equatorial Guinea 2, Ivory Coast 0. Pablo Ganet with a beautiful free kick. Those ones are so difficult to do, to get it up over the wall and down again. Fofana does get a slightest of touches, but I think the ball's already in by the time he touches it. Right into the top corner by Pablo Ganet. It is a beauty. A postage stamp free kick from Ganet. And Equatorial Guinea, they did it in the first half. They took the lead against the run of play. They have soaked up so much pressure. They have ridden their luck. They've had 2 goals. Ivory Coast have had 2 goals disallowed by VAR, correctly so. But the hosts were banging on the door. They kept them out. And now, with just under 20 minutes to go, it is Equatorial Guinea 2, Ivory Coast 0. And what a disaster for Jean-Louis Gasset's men. What do they have left in them to pull this one around? We're getting a water break here now just after that goal, which Equatorial Guinea are using as a little bit of a team conflab, but I'm sure there are some words being had in the Ivory Coast dugout now. Ganet still taking the applause of his teammates as we look at Christian Kouame slumped on the Ivory Coast bench. He covering his eyes, he can't believe it. As it stands, they are going through as one of the best third place sides, but this is still the first set of the last round of fixtures, so that could all change. They've played Equatorial Guinea 3 times in their history, won 2 and drawn 1. That's all they had to do tonight. And now Equatorial Guinea are away 2-1 here. Can they make it 3-0? It's Machine. Nsue, he uses him, he scored, it's 3-0. I don't believe it. 2 goals in 2 minutes, and this game is The free kick from Garnett. We had a water break, and straight after it, it's 3 for Equatorial Guinea. It is like a disaster zone in Abidjan, straight from the kickoff. How, the camera wasn't even on it. How did they lose this one? Kesse pumped it long. He went straight to Saul Coco. He found Boyla, an Ivory Coaster at 6th and 7th. Boyla to Machin. They had Bully back there, but Machin unselfishly rolls it to his captain, takes Bully out of the equation. And Nsue with the goalkeeper closing him down. And Kesse and Bully trying to come back at him. He makes it 3. My goodness me. I don't believe what I'm seeing here. Neither do the Ivory Coast players or fans. And they have been resoundingly beaten here by Equatorial Guinea. On 76 minutes, it's Equatorial Guinea 3, Ivory Coast 0. 2 goals in 2 minutes for Les Elefantes has killed this game. What a tournament they're having. What a tournament their captain Emilio Nsue is having. A hat-trick against Guinea-Bissau last week. And now 2 against the hosts who are coming back here now. Can that be 3-1? It's wide. Of course it is. It's Karim Konate has put it wide. It's just been one of those days for the Ivory Coast. They looked, they were banging on the door but couldn't do anything with it. Crosso's cross, and Konate from about 4 yards has diverted it wide. How has he missed? Not sure whether it would have made much of a difference in the end, but well, we still have 13 minutes to go here. And now Boyla has collided with Singo, and there's going to be a sub here for Equatorial Guinea, and Emilio Nsue isn't going to get a chance for back-to-back hat-tricks. The captain is coming off, but what a game he has had. He kisses the badge, pumps the badge. He'll hand the captain's armband over to the man who scored the second goal, Pablo Garnett. Well, it turns out he's just handing it to someone else, but Nsue is off. Juan Saifa, a big centre forward, is on. Ivan Salvador also off. He's had a good game too. But Emilio Nsue goes to the bench. He gets a big hug from his manager Juan Micha. He roars as he gets to the bench. What a game. What a tournament. Oh, you'll struggle to get a better story at this tournament than him. Here's Ivory Coast trying to get desperately to do something here. Fofana from range, and it's wide. Take a nick. No, Fofana's just trying to get it to take the goal kick quickly. But this is just incredible. Emilio Nsue has said he had a hat-trick last week. He won't get the chance to do it today. He's off. He's replaced by the Braga youngster Luis Asue. And also coming off then is Ivan Salvador for Juan Saifa, who's going to immediately get involved and chase down Fofana, who gives a dreadful pass to Willy Boley. He takes an air shot, takes 2 air shots. There surely can't be more embarrassment here. The shot from Saifa is blocked and Fofana will gather it. Ivory Coast have had 14 shots on goal to Equatorial Guinea's 14 to 5, and yet it is Equatorial Guinea 3 and the Ivory Coast 0. 2 goals in 2 minutes here, just around the 75-minute mark, has sunk the Ivory Coast. Barring the small section of Equatorial Guinea fans who are going berserk, they've played Equatorial Guinea 3 times in their history, won 2 and drawn 1. That's all they had to do tonight. And now Equatorial Guinea are away. They are still going through as one of the best third place teams, but with all the other groups still to be concluded, they might not be in that by the end of the group stages. They really, really had to win here today to guarantee themselves a spot in the last 16. But they haven't done that. They're not going to now, surely. It would be one of the comebacks of the century. With 10 minutes to go if they pulled this one around. But what a game for Equatorial Guinea. As Ndika robs Asue at the byline. Ivory Coast will try to go the length of the pitch here to do something. And here they go. Konate is speeding away. Good sliding challenge by Sao Koko, who will then get to the ball in the corner. Rebounds his clearance off Konate, and that's a goal kick, which is celebrated as much as a goal nearly by some from Equatorial Guinea. But the Ivory Coast have had two what they thought were equalisers chalked off by VAR. Both were offside, both the correct decision, it has to be said. You had that chance at the beginning of the second half from Sangare, blazing over from a tight angle but from less than 6 yards. They've had other chances, one from Pepe in the first half where at 0-0 where he theoretically could have gone down under the challenge in the penalty area, chose to keep going and was denied by Jesus Owono, who's had an excellent day in goal. There's going to be a couple of subs here made by Ivory Coast as Jean-Louis Gasset has a last roll of the dice, but there are already some seats emptying here near in Abidjan. There's good skill there from Boga. He's still going. He's out to Diakite on the right hand corner of the penalty area for Ivory Coast. Boga again. Goes in behind Seko Fofana to the byline, still going. Fofana cuts it back. Oh, it's blocked on the line. Crosso's effort blocked on the line, and if I'm not mistaken, that might have hit his own teammate, and that just sums up the Ivory Coast day if that's the case. And now Equatorial Guinea are stretching the Ivory Coast again on the counter-attack. Here's Asue, the substitute, not quite as rapid going forward now though. Pull it back for Boyla. Matching 70% possession for the Ivory Coast, incredible. Garnett, Siafa, challenged by Singo, and he stops the corner. No, he doesn't. The referee, a late flag from the linesman. Corner kick to Equatorial Guinea. I'll get another look here. Who did this shot come off? Well, I didn't give Jesus Owono enough credit. Of course it'd be him. He's had a fabulous day in goal. It was Jean-Philippe Crosso's effort. Evan Ndika, who seems to have been thrown up front, and that seems a little too late, was standing next to the goalkeeper. I thought maybe he got the touch, but no, it was Owono. Here's that double sub now for the Ivory Coast. One of those coming on there is the Brighton Hove Albion man, Simon Adingra. He's on for Willy Boley. In fact, it might just be the one sub here. That's all that's been announced so far. An attacking sub that's surely come far too late, as there's a hooked effort at goal from Asue that took a deflection, but Fofana stops. And here come the Ivory Coast again down the right hand side. That ball looking for Crosso, who bumps into Ndong, who goes down. That's a free kick, and he's had an excellent day at left back, has Basilio Ndong, and he wins the free kick there. Just incredible, it really is. Equatorial Guinea have soaked up so much pressure. Tell me, have you ever seen a team win 3-0 with 30% possession? Because that's what's happening right now. They won the free kick on the break. A correct decision for a handball against Willy Boley, 25 yards from goal. And Pablo Garnett curled it right into the top corner, and he's going to come off now. Garnett, what a game he's had in midfield. He's off, as is Jose Machin. Those are the two who have really been the engine room in midfield. The one man coming on then is Alex Balboa. The other, Santiago Eneme. So that's your two subs on for Equatorial Guinea. Apologies, actually, I didn't even notice the other sub was this man just off the bench, Max Gradle, on for Umar Diakite. Gradle, good footwork, drags it across goal, almost goes out for a throw on the far side. Nobody in white could get on the end of it. Gradle mentioned to you earlier, it was he and the man who's still on the bench, Serge Aurier, were the only two in today's squad left from the last title-winning squad of the Ivory Coast in 2015. Well, they might not even make the knockout stages this year. And just to confirm, Machine and Garnett are off for Balboa and Aneme. As Crosso gets in behind, there's Coco again. What a solid evening's work from Saul Coco, amongst others, in this Elefantes lineup. Just incredible, really. There's a corner headed away this time. Crosso that bends away from goal. He claims in vain for a corner, but he's not getting it. And well, in the last 3 minutes now in Abidjan, the Stade Olympique Alassane Ouattara that was bouncing at kick-off and for most of the way through this game, but is emptying by the second here, and those that are left sit in stunned silence. Really an incredible day. It'll go down as a dark day in Ivory Coast football history. As Awono spills that one, Konate nearly got one back but cleared away. It'll go down as a dark day in Ivorian football history, particularly if this does end up being the end of their tournament. There's Kesse in the centre circle. Singo trying to go forward. Shirt tug there by Balboa, who's just off the bench and gets a booking for his troubles. Free kick, Ivory Coast. Boga tries to cut inside in Dong but gets pushed back. He keeps it though. Gradle right to Singo, right hand side, corner of the penalty area, floats across in. Awono punches it, probably could have caught it, but away go the Equatorial Guinea on the break again. It's Asue, it's 3-on-3. How much do they want a fourth? Asue's still going, he's into the penalty, has a shot, saved by Fofana, it comes back to Boyla, it's 4-0. Equatorial Guinea 4, Ivory Coast 0. And one of the darkest days in Ivorian football history just keeps getting worse. It's the substitute Boyla that has got the fourth, with just over 2 minutes to go, and Yannick Boyla just keeps rubbing Ivory Coast's noses in it. An incredible evening in Abidjan. What on earth has happened to the Ivory Coast? They started this tournament a comfortable win over Guinea-Bissau. They were well on their way. Then they went down in an even game to Nigeria. They had never lost in 3 previous meetings with Equatorial Guinea. They were the hot favourites, the odds-on favourites. But Les Elefantes, their dream Africa Cup of Nations, just continues. Well, the effort originally from Asue, Fofana should be doing more with. He just bats it straight back to Yannick Boyla, who hits it first time into the ground, into the corner. And it's 4. Equatorial Guinea 4, Ivory Coast 0. And this surely won't be the end. This surely can't be how the Ivory Coast tournament ends, but it looks like it's going to be. Here's Balboa coming forward now. Is he wanting to add more? Fofana prevents the corner, and well, I can see stewards running and security running. I don't know if there's been a bit of trouble in the stands or outside the ground here. Maybe the frustrations in the stands have boiled over as we're about to see what added time we will have. There are people in stewards and security and yellow vests everywhere running around to various parts of this stadium. Maybe they're preparing for a bit of trouble at the end of the game, but it looks like there are fans scattered all around the stadium. It doesn't look like great scenes in the stands here. There's a couple of bits of rubbish or something has made their way onto the pitch. It's a long throw. It's like a running track around the stand. You're into 7 minutes of added time, but the frustrations of the Ivory Coast supporters have spilled over in the stands as Boga goes to the byline, deflected with Coco for a corner. Let's hope that there's nothing too serious going on here in Abidjan, but the Ivory Coast supporters are evidently not happy with what they've seen tonight. Boga's corner headed away as Coco again, and Boyla, the man who got that fourth goal, hooks it away further. And it's in the left with Gradle, cuts inside, looks for a penalty, gets a free kick instead. A capo with a foul. And Simon Adingra. And Gradle's trying to say to the referee that was in the box. Well, yeah, the initial contact is outside. Gradle falls into the penalty area, but it is a foul right on the left-hand corner of the penalty area. And Gradle and Adingra are over this one. And I said there's some scattered security across the stadium now springing into action. Let's hope, as I say, it's nothing too serious, but lots of yellow vests running to different parts of the ground. And the Ivory Coast bench sits in stunned silence as Gradle does wait to hit this free kick. He hits it, it's deflected up into the air and over the bar for a corner to the hosts. And he gets something out of this one, or is it going to be 4-0? Gradle gets to the byline, straight into the gloves of Jesus Owono, and he will plunge on that one. We're 2 minutes into the 7 added on here as Simon Adingra runs past to throw a water bottle to the sideline. That seems to be what's raining down on the pitch. So that's some throw to get it from the stands with a running track around it, but on that running track at the minute appear to be stewards quickly getting into position or maybe responding to incidents. I don't want to speculate, but let's hope everything's okay off the pitch here. But on the pitch tonight, Equatorial Guinea 4, Ivory Coast 0. It's been quite an incredible evening in Abidjan. A game that started really for much of the first half as a real niggly and disrupted game. It's come out into Equatorial Guinea took the lead. Ivory Coast thought they had the equaliser on half, but Ibrahim Sangari's effort rightly ruled out for offside. They thought they had another equaliser in the second half. And the man, his first touch off the bench, Jean-Philippe Crasso, he too correctly ruled offside by VAR, and then it all just fell apart for the Ivory Coast. They have had 70% possession. 70% possession. As Konate sends one high and wide, he might hit some of those stewards behind the goal. 70% possession, and they are finding themselves 4-0 down. First of all, a perfect free kick curled into the top corner by Pablo Gonet. You will struggle to see a better free kick all tournament, if not all year. Ooh, and Kesse's header back to the goalkeeper was nearly too short, but it does reach Fofana. Then 2 minutes after, we had a water break straight after that goal. And 2 minutes after that, Equatorial Guinea hit Ivory Coast on the counter, matching unselfishly, rolling it to his captain Emilio Nsue. He got his second of the day, his side's third, his fifth of the tournament, made it 3-0. And just before the 90th minute mark, a fourth was scored. And it's just an incredible evening here. Yannick Boyla was with the fourth, capitalising on a save from Yahya Fofana, who merely just pushed it back into play rather than around the post. And we have 2 minutes of the 7 added on here, and as I said, if you just joined us, there's perhaps some ugly scenes in and around this stadium here now with Ivory Coast fans Many of them empty, plenty of empty seats around the stadium that was packed at kick-off, but no longer. And I've seen some stewards or security in high-vis vests. They're all around the stadium, some running to certain areas. So let's hope the frustrations haven't boiled over. As it stands, the Ivory Coast are in third, one of the best third place teams. It's finished in the other game, by the way. Guinea-Bissau 0, Nigeria 1. Equatorial Guinea for a fifth, and it's over the bar from Asawa. He could have made it 5 there. Off the bench, cut back from an Ndong on his side, just leaned back and sent that one over. It could have been 5. Oh, every chance they have at the minute just seems to be a chance on goal. And now here comes the Ivory Coast. Well, maybe a chance for another, or for one back. It's headed away, headed up into the Abidjan night sky. Now out left, struck by a Dingra and then dragged wide by Crosso. And that might just be the last action of this game here. A sickening night for the Ivory Coast. A game they didn't lose, and they have lost it, and then some. They've never lost to Equatorial Guinea in the last 3 meetings, including 2 at the African Cup of Nations, most recently in 2022. Well, Les Elefantes, let's not talk about this. We'll have to talk about them. Oh, penalty claim here. Nothing given. Ivory Coast thought they had maybe a penalty there, but nothing given. That's up to 7 minutes are up. Surely we're done now. Mahmoud Ismail looks at his watch and declares this game over. It has